Hello guys and welcome. Today I have such an exciting video because Chantecaille is having their yearly sale. It is 25% off site-wide, no exclusions, which I feel like they've never done that before. Usually there's a couple of things that are excluded, but I wanted to share with you guys my top 10 favorite Chantecaille products because there's so many. They're definitely very pricey, but some of these just have become my favorite in their category, like their foundation. Oh, I'm excited to talk about them. I will also have inserts of these products applied on my skin so you can see how they look. And I also have an early access code. It is Tania 25. That way you can get in before things sell out. I think the sale starts July 27th, but with my access code, you can start shopping today. So let's get started. Everything that I'm talking about today will be linked down below, and I will also post a comment with all the links because sometimes it's confusing to manage the setup that YouTube has, but those links are affiliate, which means I make a small commission out of those. So if you do want to participate in the sale and if you need products, if you use those links, you will just help my channel. It doesn't cost you anything. You're just kind of supporting me and my channel, and I would be grateful, but obviously you don't have to. Also, my code is Tania25. That will give you early access. However, I have heard that there's another code. It's called Beauty30 that will give you 30% off. I'm not sure if that one is available for everybody. It didn't work for me once, but the second time it did, and I don't know how long that will last, but I thought I would just mention it in case it works for you. Use it. It gives you 30% off instead of 25, but those are all the deets. Let's get into the products. Let's start with this product right here. This is their 24 karat gold essence intense, and as you can see, I've had enough time to test this out. First of all, this lasted me so long, months and months, and I've used this pretty much every day. What this product does is that it helps with hydration. It truly helps with your glow and hydration of your skin. But this you put first. This is your first skincare product, and it helps absorb all your other ingredients into your skin. And I didn't think much of it when I first started using it because it was so expensive. I didn't really think that it was worth the money. But the more I used it, the more I was like, wow, I really need like half a pump from my vitamin C, or my retinol is extending so much more. I felt like I could use less of all my other products because this helped distribute and absorb the product into my skin so much better. So I feel like this is kind of like a magical toner, hydrator, and also an absorbent. It also has vitamin C in it that will help brighten your skin. Man, I don't know what they did with this because I went for a few days on a tiny vacation and did not bring this with me because I was like, I don't need it. And I felt the biggest difference not having this and putting my vitamin C on and my moisturizer and everything. I felt like I had to use so much more of those products without having this. And so ever since, I literally have been using it every day and see a huge difference in my skin, in my hydration. It preps the skin. It is something magical in here. I don't know what they did, but I love it and I will repurchase it. I probably should repurchase it during the sale because it is a pricey little thing. It does last a long time though. My second skincare product is kind of a mix of a SPF and primer. It is this one right here. This is their Ultra Sun Protection Sunscreen Broad Spectrum SPF 45 primer, and I'm almost out of this one. This is probably one of my favorite SPFs that I have. It is also probably the most expensive one that I've ever owned, but it is oil free. It gives hydration, and the way it leaves your skin is so smooth that it is perfect for your makeup. So I mainly use this as my SPF primer because of the texture that it has. It is a very liquid in the beginning, and then as you work it into the skin, it definitely absorbs and it gives this not just hydration, but this smoothness to your skin. It is such an interesting product, and it took me a while to test it out just because it's so expensive, and I never felt like there was a purpose for it. But now that I've tried it and I've pretty much gone through this whole bottle, I understand the hype about it, and I really absolutely love it. And I think it's maybe not worth the money, but with 25% off, I would buy this one. The next products, I'm grouping them together because they do similar things. They're just a different tone. And these are these face tint. One says anti-aging face tint and one says sheer glow rose face tint. The rose tint has the very, very sheer rose tint. If anything, it's more for the luminosity of it and the glow that you get from it. You don't see the tint, the rose tint on your skin, but it is such a beautiful gel formula that gives so much hydration, and even though it's glowy, it kind of helps blur your skin. I use this one under my makeup as a primer, and it is so beautiful. I've also used it if I have like a very minimal makeup. I use it on the high points of my cheeks and give it this beautiful glow to the skin. The texture is a very gel and cooling effect, and I think it is so beautiful on the skin. It's kind of unique for this glowy primer situation because many of the other glowy primers are just too shimmery or too intense. This is more hydrating, and it does have that rosy pearl through it, but it's so smoothing on the skin, and it's not shimmery at all. And I do feel like it kind of helps blur my skin, not in that pore filling kind of smoothness, you know, it's more of that very hydrated and plump skin kind of smoothness. And it also has lots of skincare ingredients, so I really like it. Now, out of these two, I prefer the tinted version because I can use this by itself. It looks kind of crazy. It looks like it should be a bronzer, but it's not. Now that I have a tan on, it's summer, my face, I wear more SPF on my face, so it's usually a little lighter. So I can just take a little bit of this one, put it all over my skin, and just use this as kind of my foundation. Even though it doesn't really have a ton of coverage, it just makes my face match my body. And again, it has the same properties of having that smoothness on the skin, hydrating, and that gel cool feeling texture. I absolutely love this one. So if I were to pick one, I would go for the tinted version. And I will say that you could also mix it in with your foundation. If you know you have one foundation that's a little bit too light, you could just take a little bit of this and mix it. It's just such a beautiful product. And again, it does have lots of skincare ingredients in it. So I'm grouping these together because I think that they do similar things, just different tints. Moving on to their base products, I'm going to start with this tinted moisturizer. This does have SPF 15, and I have two colors. I have the color Glow and Vanilla. Right now I am using the color Glow because it is a little bit warmer and a little deeper than the Vanilla, and it matches me so well for summertime. Now this is a stunning, beautiful tint. Don't be fooled by Tint because it does have, I would say, medium coverage. This has a more coverage, in my opinion, than their foundation. And it's such an interesting texture. It is moisturizing, but it's not oily at all. I think the finish of this is more on the natural side. So even if you have oilier skin, I do think that you could use this one because it leaves the most natural looking skin that is not oily at all. It's not drying at all. It's such an interesting formula. It almost feels like it's a little bit whipped, but it's a thicker texture. You know, it's not that airy whipped texture. It's a creamy whipped texture. It's hard to explain unless you feel it. And it has this smoothness to it that is so beautiful, and it comes with 1.2 ounces, so a little bit more than your regular foundation. This is such a beautiful product, definitely in my top 3 Chantecaille products. I'm just a sucker for like tinted moisturizers or foundations, something that makes your skin look like your skin, just a little bit more perfected and smooth, and this is what this does. It's not as hydrating as their foundation. So again, if you have oily skin or combination skin, I think you could still enjoy it. And even if you have dry skin, I can see this working for you. But it is a beautiful, unique kind of tinted moisturizer. Moving on to my number one product from Chantecaille, and this is my number one foundation at the moment, and that is their Future Skin Foundation. This is oil-free. It has that gel formula, and they did reformulate it, and I don't know what they did, but it is so good. I love the original, but this one's a little bit more hydrating, a little bit smoother on the skin, and not necessarily glowy, but it just feels more hydrating on the skin, and it melts into my skin. I cannot express how much I love this foundation. I've only had it for about a month, and I feel like I've used so much. I can see myself literally finishing this year because it is my number one foundation at the moment. If I want to look like my skin just looks hydrated and healthy, this is the foundation that I reach for. The coverage is light to medium, but it can be built up to a medium. And even if you build this up, it doesn't feel heavy. It never feels heavy. It melts into your skin. I just don't think I've had an experience like I've had with this foundation, and maybe it's just my skin type that it works so well with this foundation. I absolutely love this reformulation, and I don't mind that it's in a tub. I literally just put a little bit on my finger and put it on my face, and it works with your hands. You can use a brush. I do prefer to use a brush because it can be a little bit more specific where I build up the coverage, but stunning foundation. I think it would work for normal, combo, and dry skin. If you have oily skin, I think this may be a little bit too hydrating and maybe a little too glowy, but for everybody else, I think this is fantastic. Definitely my number one Chantecaille product and my number one foundation at the moment. I am skipping their concealer, not because it's not good, but the coverage is quite light, and I wouldn't say it is my top 10 Chantecaille products, but that one is good if you want a very light coverage. But moving on to their powder. Their powder is so beautiful. It is called, first of all, the Perfect Blur Finishing Powder, and that's important to know because this isn't necessarily a setting powder. I don't use it as a setting powder. It is more of a finishing powder that gives this beautiful blur to your skin. And I kind of forgot about it for a little bit, and since I knew that the sale is coming and I was testing out products, I pulled it back out, and oh my goodness, this is so beautiful. Now, I did try to record inserts with everything, and whenever I applied this, the camera was not turned on, or the bronzer, but I did try to kind of show you after how it looks just as a finishing powder. It is so smoothing on your skin, so blurring, so finely milled. It is that baked formula, and it's wonderful. I will make sure to keep it right here on my top drawer because I always liked it, but now that I haven't used it for a little bit and the past couple of weeks pulled it back out, I'm like, oh my goodness, why did I ever stop using this? We always get new products and test out so many products that some of the better products you kind of forget about, and this is fantastic. It is such a beautiful blurring powder. I don't like to set with this. This is literally at the end when I'm done with my base, with my concealer. I've set my concealer. I go with this one and kind of set the whole face, and it just puts this blurry effect on the skin. It's great for mature skin because it is so finely milled. It's almost invisible on the skin. So I really do enjoy this powder. Moving on to their bronzer, and this is one of those products that I have loved for such a long time. It has been so used in my collection, but I've been testing out so many new bronzer and kind of put it aside and picked it back up 2-3 weeks ago, and it's so good. It is a baked glowy bronzer, and similar to the powder, it's a very finely milled and soft, and it gives the most beautiful bronziness to your skin. I have the shade Serena, and it is perfect for me. It does remind me a little bit of the Farah Hamidi bronzer, the new one that I absolutely love, but this one's much harder press because it is that baked formula, but it is a very smooth on the skin. I think this is a little glowier than the Farah Hamidi. Absolutely gorgeous. I kind of forgot to press record when I applied this, but I realized halfway through applying my bronzer. So hopefully you guys can see how it looks on the skin. It gives such a beautiful, healthy bronze to your skin. It's never too pigmented or too intense. You build up the bronzer slowly and it is a beautiful finish. There's no actual glitter in it. It's just smooth. And I think this is a theme with Chantecaille, that everything looks so smooth and melts into your skin. And I think that that's why I love this brand so much. It is expensive, but you get so much use out of your products. And I think this bronzer is definitely one of their better makeup products that they came out with. Moving on to blushes, and I picked these gel formula blushes. These are kind of like a cream gel. You squeeze it onto your hand and then you use a brush and apply it, and they are sheer. They're not super intense colors, but they can be built up. I am in love with this shade. The color Thrill is my favorite from the ones that I've tried. I think it gives the most beautiful bronzy glow to your cheeks because it is not full pigment, so it's a little bit sheer. It just looks so healthy on the skin and not intimidating at all. You can build it up, but just look at that glow and the way this looks on the skin. I love the color. They do have multiple colors that are all beautiful, but this one is my current favorite. Definitely great for that summer kind of almost burnt cheek effect, or for fall. I think this would be so beautiful for fall. I love the texture of it. I love the way it applies. Definitely use a brush and put the product on your hand and then work it into your brush. I don't like to put it straight on my cheeks and then blend it out. I think it just doesn't give the same effect. It's just too much. So using a brush, you can slowly build up the product to the level of pigment that you like. I love the glow that this has. I don't need a highlighter when I wear this. And I mean, I'm wearing it today and look at this. Right now I have a little bit of a combo. I have Thrill, as I showed you in the B-roll, and then I put a little bit of Delight on top just to kind of match my eye. This is more of a pinky shade and it has like a tiny bit of a gold shift in it. It's again very sheer but buildable. You can kind of see the color right there. I think it's so beautiful. But yes, this formula from Chantecaille is worth taking a look at. It's absolutely gorgeous. Oops, I think I have 11 products to talk about. I thought I reduced it to 10, but that's okay. Moving on to their eyeshadows. Now, I personally do love this palette right here. I think this one's still available. This is their Nymph Eye Trio, and I absolutely love the formula. Oh my goodness, so good. I did not put this in my top 10 because I wasn't sure if it would still be available, but it's a great formula. I picked these little single mermaid eyeshadows, and I have here 3 shades. Sylvie, which is this kind of soft matte brown. It's a very neutral color. And then I have Copper, and one of my favorite shades is Starfish. This is kind of a purpley shade that has a shift in it, and I love using this by itself all the way into the crease, because the second it goes into the crease, it almost looks like you have a couple different eyeshadows on. So it is such a beautiful shade. But in the application, I first started with the Sylvie, just put this kind of in the crease to frame my eye. It is such a beautiful everyday brown. And then I went in with Starfish and kind of put it all over the lid so you can kind of see the color. It's just so easy to work with. And then I took a little bit of Copper, which is not really a copper. I would say it's a bronzy champagne color. And I put that right in the center to bring a little bit of brightness to my eye. And I find these to be so easy to work with. Over the years, these have still stayed right here in my top drawer. These are ones that you know, day to day, I don't have to think about it. I just pick one and use it, and it never steers me wrong. I absolutely love these, and definitely a favorite from Chantecaille. And then how could I not talk about my Chantecaille mascara? My most expensive mascara that I own, but this is infused with peptides, and I swear to you guys, I see a difference when I use this mascara consistent. So it's supposed to help grow your lashes. So it has that serum in it, and I saw a difference. I saw a difference. After using this mascara for a few weeks, I could tell that my lashes were longer, healthier, stronger. And yeah, I think it is due to this mascara, but also the effect that this has. It is a very kind of feathery lash. I would say it's buildable. If you want a natural look, you can just go with one layer of mascara. Mine, by the way, it is completely dry. I need to get rid of it, and I already have a backup I will open up. It is a very natural look with a first application, very separated, but then you can build it up and have quite a lot of volume and length. I think it is such a good overall mascara that does a little bit of everything. It's not extremely volumizing or extremely lengthening, but it just makes your lashes look so natural, so good. And yeah, this is one of my favorite mascaras. I do really like my Jones Road mascara right now, but that one is very intense and a little bit more wet. This one is a little bit more elegant, softer, but still has an impact. And also that serum and those peptides in it definitely make it worth it. And I will probably forever have this in my collection because I love it so much. It's the mascara I'm wearing today, and it is dry though, so I feel like I should have opened a new one for this video, but yeah, it is definitely one of Chantecaille's best. And then a lip favorite. How could I not include a lip favorite? Because Chantecaille has the most beautiful lip balms, kind of this lip gloss oil, but in a lipstick formula. The one I'm showing you today is the color Patience. It's their Lip Chic formula, and it is so glossy. I love the color. It's such a good, just neutral color, and it is definitely my favorite from everything that I have from them, like lip products. I'm just gonna apply a little bit more right here. Just the glow, the color, the undertone is so good, and they have other beautiful colors and formulas. This is their lip veil. Oh, this formula is also beautiful, a little bit more pigmented, not quite as glossy as the Lip Chic, but still absolutely stunning. Now they don't have this color. I'm not even gonna swatch it, so I won't tease you, but I do think they have these, and their packaging is so beautiful, absolutely stunning. This is Timbodi, and it's a beautiful neutral color right there. And then Honey Pot, I'm gonna swatch it right above it. It's a little bit more pinky. And then let me swatch Patience next to it so you can hopefully see the difference in pigment and gloss. So here is Patience. You can see how it's a little bit more, it's not sparkly, but it's just more glossy. And then that's the Lip Veil formula. Very beautiful lip products, definitely on the pricier side, so this is a great time to stock up on them. But if I could just pick one, it would be this color and this formula. I absolutely love it, and I feel like it's always sold out. Hopefully it's in stock, but they have other beautiful colors. But for me and my skin tone, I think this is the best one. I did pair it with a lip liner from Isamaya. This is the lip liner in Liberica, I think. I added just a little bit of this first and then put the gloss on top, or the Lip Veil, Lip Chic. I get confused with all the names. I don't love their lip liners that much. I don't think they're anything special, and I haven't found a color that I absolutely love. So those are my top 10, I guess 11 products. I did really want to mention a fragrance, and then I looked and it is sold out because I really like this fragrance. You know what? Let me just share it with you in case it comes back in stock. This is the Frangipane fragrance, and I think this is the only one sold out, but it is such an interesting fragrance. it is very warm and cozy, but also it has ylang ylang, jasmine, frangipane, a little bit of, I think, orange in the opening. So it's a little bit bright in the opening, but there's this warmth to it. When Andrew smelled it, he said it smells like honeysuckle, but in a warm, cozy way. So it's on the sweeter side, which I don't love super sweet fragrances, but it also has amber and cedarwood. So there's some woodsiness, some vanilla that kind of makes it cozier. It is so beautiful. And yeah, this is something unique in my collection. I don't have a Frangipane fragrance in my collection, and it is gorgeous. I really hope it comes back in stock because this is worth the money, and it's so long lasting. I sprayed it on and I swear the next day I could still smell it. And yeah, I thought I would just sprinkle this in just in case it comes back in stock. I also have Petals, which is nice. It's a white floral, but it's nothing super unique, and I'm not the biggest fan of just white floral and tuberose. If you like that, that is a nice fragrance, but to me this is unique and lovely. And that is it, my friends. Those are my top 10, 11, I don't know, 12 favorites from Chantecaille. I think it is a gorgeous brand, and I think some of these products are absolutely worth the money that I would repurchase over and over again. And I hope this video was helpful, kind of narrowing down what I think it's worth it. And yeah, I would love to know some of your favorite products. Remember that everything is linked down below and it is affiliate, so keep that in mind. And that's it. Hope you have a good one, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.